Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation.
Hey, Embracing Arms community, it is me again, Dr. Danielle Hairston, with another 5-minute quickie with your best life. And I wanted to come to you because it is almost time to participate in election 2020. And I'm wondering, are you registered to vote? And if you are registered to vote, is your family members registered to vote, those that are eligible? And if they are, did they get their absentee ballots, or are they planning on standing in the lines for during the election day? If so, have a conversation with your family about all of these things. In addition to having a conversation with your family, make sure that you also have a conversation with your family about those who will be appearing on the ballot. I think we get so overwhelmed and bogged down with what's happening nationally that we forget that the local elections really, really matter also. So while we are preparing for this national presidential election, that is absolutely great. But once this is over, I want you guys to remember that those down elections, those local elections, when we're identifying local leadership, county leadership, state leadership, those are important too. I know that the national process always take our attention away from what's going on locally, but these are the decisions that are impacting our day-to-day lives. I mean, think about our school system. And if nothing else, the pandemic has really opened a lot of people's eyes to how powerful the local elections are. From the either competent or incompetent way our local leadership handled COVID-19, the competent or incompetent way our local leadership handled, our school system during COVID-19. I mean, think about all of those players that was in place that represent, the local, state, and county politics currently, and then think about who you voted for or who you failed to vote for as you prepare for future local, state, and county decisions regarding our leadership. So get ready for election 2020 in November. Remember that you still have until I think October 31st to register to vote. So you have time, but don't waste time. Take care of that today. Have conversations with your people. Look at the ballot. Have some dialogue around who's on the ballot. Start preparing for those local, state, and county elections. And remember, if you are concerned about things like the potholes in your street, if you are concerned about things like, what's happening in your school district, if you're concerned about your mayor, if you're concerned about the local politicians, who, by the way, is one of the single most powerful people in the criminal justice system when it comes down to deciding who goes to jail or prison and who doesn't. So really start thinking about those local, state, county positions. If you're eligible to run for those positions, then you might want to start thinking about that also. But don't sleep on your right to exercise your vote. And if you have the knowledge, share the knowledge with other people about who's running for these positions, and why is it important to vote, period. All right. Just want to drop that nugget with you. Just had that on my mind. Get ready for election 2020. If you don't like what you see, let's change it. Go out in the community and embrace someone, because they're waiting on you, and continue to live your absolute best life.
My Lacasa boy, this is my residence. My prescription boy, this is my medicine. The world can be sickening and living in house resemblance. Not to mention the media's effort to keep us in the most simplistic state of mind. Lowest age bracket committing the highest rate of crime.